B-Town, did you hear the story about the woman who decides to go out to a bar in New York City with her friend? Now, her friend is all happy and bubbly and chatty like a social butterfly, but she's not. In fact, she doesn't even drink, so she's just going to just hang out with her friend. When they get there, they sit down at the table and they're just talking, and all of a sudden this man approaches them, and he goes right to the girl, her friend, and he says, hey, you're so beautiful. Is it okay if I buy you a bottle? And her friend's like, of course, because that happens to her all the time. And he's like, okay, I'll send it over. So he goes over to the bartender, and the friend is watching him and the bartender interact. The bartender is a young lady. He goes to the bartender and he says, you know what to do. The bartender looks at him, nods her head, and gets on her phone and types something in, and then she reaches for a bottle of Patron that's at the front of the bar instead of at the back with the rest of the bottles. And the friend thinks this is kind of weird, so she's like, hold on, let me make sure to assess this situation. Well, the bartender sends out the bottle to the table, and her friend is like, yay, I got a free bottle, I'm so cute, and she's feeling all happy. And her friend stops her, before you drink that, how about you go and fix your eyeliner? It's messed up, so go ahead to the bathroom right quick. I'll wash the bottle and I'll watch our table. Her friend's like, okay. As the friend goes to the bathroom, she sees the man from across the way watching her friend. Then he kind of trails after her towards the bathroom, and the friend's like, hold up, something's going on. She goes to the bartender herself and she says, can I get a bottle of Patron just like that one? And the bartender says yes, and the bartender reaches for a bottle from the back, gives it to her, she pays for it, she puts it in her bag, goes back to the table, and then she switches the bottles out. She takes the bottle she just bought and put it on the table, and the one he bought, she puts it in her bag. And so when her friends come back, her friend's like, girl, yes, let's drink this. We about to have us a good time. And she's like, hold on a second. You know what? If he bought you a bottle, how about sending him one back? That'll show him that we're independent women. And she's like, that is so funny, but I'm not paying for a bottle for a man. And she's like, don't worry about it. I got it. So she goes to another bottle service girl and says, hey, I'll give you a $20 if you'll take this bottle and give it to that man as a gift. And since it's already a bottle from the bar, the bottle service girl's like, okay. She takes the bottle over and said, this is a gift from them. And the man's like, okay, and he smiles and he takes the bottle. So he's looking at the girl who has his bottle, the bottle he thought he bought, on the table, and he has his bottle, and he's looking at her like, come, let's chug it up, let's take shots. And she's like, okay. So they both pour their shots, and they start taking shots. He's taking shots, she's taking shots, and the friend is just sitting there watching. She said no more than 15 minutes after they started taking their shots, the man who's 6'3", 300 pounds, stands up and falls right on the ground. The bartender who he had been dealing with earlier is looking like, oh my God. She rushes from behind the bar, rushes to him. Are you okay? Are you okay? And the friend looks at her and is like, what did you do? What did you put in that bottle? And the bartender was like, oh my gosh. And she gets up and runs away. The friend goes and tries to find the bartender. And when she finds her, she snatches her phone and says, girl, what's going on? What are you doing? Are you trying to hurt my friend? And the bartender gets up and runs away again, but she has her phone and she keeps it. So after that, the friend goes back to the table and was like, you know what? We need to leave. Let's just go. This isn't fun anymore. And she was like, what are you talking about? I haven't even finished. She's like, come on, we have to go. She says a few days later, she gets a phone call from a detective because she had turned that phone in and told them what she suspected. And the detective said, you know what? That phone you gave us had enough evidence in it to be able to convict these criminals. This man is a known trafficker, and he was working in cahoots with the bartender to entrap women so that he can abduct them and take them away.